My name is Regal Cameron, and you can find me on www.regalcameron.com. I'm an author, a publisher, a speaker, and a GEMS expert. And you may be asking, what does GEMS expert mean? It means gracefully empowering my sisters. I empower women to push past their fears and push past their anger so that they can heal. You can find me on Facebook at regalcameron.com. You can, at Regal T. Cameron. You can find me on Instagram at Regal T. Cameron, and on Twitter you can find me at Regal's Gems. This is the first time I've done Facebook Live, so I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm going to go ahead on with my subject. And my subject tonight is, are you still standing where you started? So, when I came up with this subject, it was after I saw a trailer from Denzel Washington and Viola Davis called Fences. So, instead of me just telling you about the trailer, I'm going to just show you the trailer, because that will give you the emphasis of why it hit me the way that it hit me. It was very powerful. It really shook my spirit, and I'm going to start playing it right now. It's called Fences.
Hey, Pop, can I ask you a question? How come you ain't never liked me?
Like you? What law is there say I got to like you?
None.
All right then. Don't you eat every day? Answer me when I talk to you. Don't you eat every day?
Yeah.
As long as you in my house, you put a sir on the end of it when you talk to me.
Yes, sir.
You eat every day.
Yes, sir.
Got a roof over your head.
Yes, sir.
Got clothes on your back.
Yes, sir.
Why you think that is?
Because of you.
Hell, I know it's because of me. But why do you think that is?
Because you like me?
Like you. I go out of here every morning. I bust my butt because I like you. You're about the biggest fool I ever saw. A man is supposed to take care of his family. You live in my house, fill your belly with my food, put your behind on my bed because you're my son. It's my duty to take care of you. I owe a responsibility to you. I ain't got to like you. Now, I don't give you everything I got to give you. I give you your life. Me and your mama worked that out between us, and liking your black ass wasn't part of the bargain. Now, don't you go through life worrying about whether somebody like you or not. You best be making sure that they're doing right by you. You understand what I'm saying?
Everything that boy do, he do for you.
It's not easy for me to admit that I've been standing in the same place for 18 years.
Well, I've been standing with you. I gave 18 years of my life to stand in the same spot as you.
After seeing this trailer, it really struck home. It really struck to my core, because literally I sat on my purpose for 10 years. I would just go to work, come home, clean up, do my regular 9 to 5, do my errands, and I just did not do purpose. It was just an everyday thing. But when I saw this, it shook me, because how do you sit in one place for all those years and you know that you have purpose in you and you don't move? It really just hit my core. So I wrote down a few things to just kind of help you question your purpose. Question, are you in the right place? Question, should you be doing more? So the questions that I wrote, there are 4 questions that I wrote out. And the first one is, are you still standing in the same place for 18 years? Meaning, are you still doing the same thing? Going to your 9 to 5, taking care of the kids, washing the clothes, doing the errands. All those things are important. Your job is there to finance your future. Your job is there to finance your purpose. Because there is going to be one day where your kids leave and they go off to college. They go off and do their own thing. They have their own families, their own kids. So what are you going to do with that time when they're gone? Are you going to just continue to do your 9 to 5 and maybe retire and maybe travel a little bit? Or are you going to answer your call of purpose? So for me, I decided to answer purpose. The second question that I have is, will you look past your daily routine to see greatness is in you? Meaning that you've gotten so caught up with your daily life, meaning that you're so caught up in your children, or you're so caught up in everything else that you do for others. Are you going to take time to see the greatness in you? Are you going to take time to see that there's purpose in you? Are you going to take time to say, hey, I need to do something for me. I need to do something that's going to make me happy. Are you going to take time to do what is for you? And that was something for me. I had to really sit down and say, hey, I can't keep sitting on this. I've got to answer purpose. I've got to. That's what it was for me. My third question is, will you push past the fear of failure or success? Because a lot of times when people don't step into purpose, it's because they're afraid of failing and they're afraid of succeeding. Because sometimes succeeding means that you have to do more. It means that you're accountable for more. It means that you have to walk further than where you wanted to go. And then sometimes people are afraid of failure. Sometimes they're afraid of being embarrassed. Sometimes they're afraid that they're not going to be able to do what they stepped out to do. And that can be very scary, to be, stepping out and doing something you never done before, and then you're failing. Your fear of being embarrassed, or fear of people saying, oh, she ain't do that right. Oh, she ain't say that right. Oh, he ain't do that right. Oh, look at her. She looks stupid. But you cannot allow the naysayers to step in, because the naysayers ain't got an answer for you when you go before glory. You have to answer for you. So my fourth question was, when will you say yes to you? When will you decide to leave this earth empty? By pouring out every good thing that's in you. Because everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has something that they should be doing that will help influence someone else's life. When are you going to decide to leave this earth empty? For me, this thing is real, because I got to a point to where I could no longer say no to the call. I got to the point to where I could say no. I could no longer say, well, I'm just going to keep going to my job. I'm just going to keep building up my pension. I'm just going to keep, just doing my thing. I ain't even worried about nobody else. Oh, well, they'll be all right. I couldn't do it no more. See, for me, over about 20 years ago, I wrote a book. And it was actually a poetry book called Divine Intervention. And I tried to get it published. This is the book right here that I wrote, Divine Intervention. It's called The Daily Devotional Inspired by the Holy Spirit. At first, this book was just a book of poetry. I sent the book out to several publishing houses and got my letters of no, nah, that's all right. Thank you, but no thank you. And it really discouraged me, and I stepped away from writing, because I was like, okay, well, God, maybe that's not for me to take the things that I had in my journal, things that helped me heal from my hurt and my pains and all the things that I've been through, molestation and rape and just being taken advantage of, just being naive, not knowing what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And it was just really hard for me to step back out on that faith thing. So here it is 20 years later, and finally now I can publish my book myself. I can do it myself, and I can walk into purpose and step into purpose. Some things may not always happen when you think they're supposed to, but never give up on your purpose. Never give up on moving out of that place that you've been standing in. You don't want to still be standing in the place that you started, because that means that you haven't moved anywhere. That means you're still in the same place. You need to move past that place, because God put something in you. He put purpose in you. He put greater in you. He put more in you so that you can get it out to somebody else, because everybody got a story. I have a tribe. Everybody has a tribe. My tribe needs to hear my stories, because maybe they've gone through something and they don't know how to get healed. They don't know how to get through the brokenness. They don't know how to forgive. But if I tell my story and tell how I got through it, tell how I got through the molestation, I got through me telling my mother, hey, your boyfriend molested me, and I couldn't get, and to hear my mother say, stop lying. he ain't do nothing to you. I had to go through that for a whole year before she caught him. And then she believed me. And in the midst of that, she didn't even acknowledge that he had done anything. It took me years to get over that pain, to forgive her. So everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has a purpose that they have to get out there and do the thing that God has called them to do. You want to leave this earth empty. You don't want to leave full. You don't want to leave with the books in you. You don't want to leave with the action in you. You don't want to leave with the singing or the song in you. You want to be able to leave this earth empty so that someone else can be free. And hello, Phyllis. How are you? Thank you for chiming in. Thank you very much. But you just don't want to leave this earth empty. And if there is a purpose in you and you don't know what it is, it might be something that you like to do and maybe something that you're good at. But God has put something in you that's going to help somebody else. The stories that are in me, oh, good, great. There are stories in you that you have to tell. You may be an author, you may be a speaker, you may be a dancer, you may be an actress, you never know, but God has something in you that you have got to get out of you to let somebody else know that they can make it through it. Because I got through the molestation. I got through the rape. I got through all of those things that I went through in my life. I got through the broken relationships because I allowed God to take me in my brokenness and put me back together again and teach me how to forgive and teach me how to heal. Some of those things happened instantly. But then there were some things that took years for me to help to get an understanding of how did that happen to me? Why did that happen to me? But in the midst of all of it, in the midst of everything I had to go through, it was purpose ingrained in that thing. So every instance that you go through in life, everything that happens, it happens for a reason. Whether if it's a good reason or a bad reason, that thing happened for you to tell the story. Because there's somebody else that may be going through the same thing that you're going through. There's somebody else that may be stuck and don't know how to get out of it. There's somebody else who may not understand that I have to forgive to let go so that I can get to the next level. Because some people think, oh, if I forgive them, I'm a wimp. I'm a punk. No, forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness allows you to release that thing that held you, that thing that tried to captivate you. Forgiveness breaks curses. Forgiveness breaks generational curses. Forgiveness allows you to become the person that God called you to be. So when you look, hopefully I'll have some replayers that will look and see the trailer called Fences, because when you are standing in the same place that you started 18 years ago, that thing hurts. So don't allow yourself to stand in the same place. Allow God to come in and heal whatever brokenness there is. Allow God to come in and allow you and show you how to forgive so that you can move past that thing, so that the greatness in you can come out. So that you can move forward, so that whatever it is that you are called to do, you'll be able to do it. Now, I can be reached via my website, www.regalcameron. You can catch me on Facebook at Regal T Cameron, Instagram Regal T Cameron, and Twitter at Regal's Gems. I am currently in the editing process of my next book, which is called The Mask Behind My Pretty. I was going to put it out by December of this year, but I'm in prayer, and I'm going to be probably putting it out in 2017. And that book is going to talk about a lot of the things that we don't want to talk about these days, that we don't want to talk about, meaning subjects of molestation and abortion and rape and things that are just not talked about. And they need to be talked about, because a lot of the things that happened to me were because no one told me. No one gave me the information that I needed to deal with real life. And today we need to be able to give our young women information on real life, on what to expect when you step out of those doors of your home and you no longer have your mother or your father or your grandparents to help you and to guide you. So that book is going to be, it's a very powerful book because I'm telling the raw truth of my life. I'm telling what I went through. And that book is going to bless somebody, and I pray that it frees somebody. So that book will be coming out. It's called The Mask Behind My Pretty. I will be putting excerpts out here on Facebook. I will also be putting them out on Instagram and Twitter, as well as on my blog page on www.regalcameron.com. So just keep an eye out for it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great evening. Bye.